Hey everybody, I'm on for the midweek message reveal Wednesday, November 13th. Thank you for being here with me. I know that there's just been a lot that's going down. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Maybe a million times more. Um, I know I missed last week in order to hold space for all of the things that were coming through and the hopes and the fears and all of the things. And I have to say it's difficult for me to be on here. It's difficult for me to want to be on camera right now. It's there's just a lot that's going on in the world, and it's not doom and gloom. I just feel that there's so much energy, and there's so much wonder, and there's so many questions, and there's so little clarity. And all of those things are hard to come on and provide support and comfort. But I am and I can. And I will. And that's why I'm here. I've made a commitment to this midweek message thing that's just kind of evolved. And I know it's taken me in some ways from other modalities that I use and ones that I even prefer. But I think it's because there's a real need for communication and there's a real need for conversation. And I feel that the desire is there. And I'm not sure what midweek message will look like moving forward. I'm going to give it some space to breathe. And it could look completely different next week. It could be something else. And I guess I just want to honor the space it's in, and what it's given and what it will be. And just know that in whatever form it takes, I'm going to show up. That's just how it goes. You're stuck with me. Okay. I don't want to go too deep into astrology or any of those things. A lot of it feels kind of sterile. And I really feel that what we're looking for here is connection. And we're looking for support. And I don't know that that can necessarily be given in the ways that astrology can. I know it is something that I lean on and something that I love. And I think a lot of it is just, we just really have to feel our way through these things. But what's interesting is that the moon that is on Friday, the last super moon in Taurus, full moon in Taurus, is my own personal moon. I'm a Taurus moon and a Scorpio sun. And through these transits and when things shift and change, I do feel myself activated in certain areas, in certain ways that are connected to the astrological archetypes and energies, so on and so forth. And what I feel into when looking into Friday, and looking into Pluto moving into Aquarius from Capricorn, we will never have Pluto and Capricorn again in our lifetime. That this is a split in the path. There are a bunch of us who look one way and have this sort of reality of what's going on and how things are going. And then there's a completely different path with totally different people who are believing things over here. And we are each other, and that boggles the mind. And at the same time, there has to be a reason. And tension creates friction, and friction creates change. And I feel that that is what I choose to lean into, is I choose to lean into the change that will come from people truly standing in their power and opening their hearts and their mouths and standing up to be counted. And I believe that. So that being said, get off my little soapbox here. I'm going to jump into the messages this week. As always, would love to work with you, so please check my website for my offerings and things like that. If you don't see something that you're interested in there, please reach out to me and talk to me. I love to create custom things for people, and that's kind of where all of it seems to be heading. It's a customized sort of vibe. So let me know. Okay, I'm going to jump into the readings here. Very feeling ones. Okay. So these are Shiva eye agates. I love these guys and I collect them. They're actually carved this way in this shape. There's a lot with the third eye for everyone. So connecting with your energy one, I truly feel a real just an exasperation. And that exasperation feels personal. It also feels clinical. It feels like there is not a there's a feeling of, I'm hearing the word cauterize, and I'm hearing the word defend against. So the energy of this one, it's going to require time for things to settle enough for you to be able to see the signs you keep asking for. I'm hearing that you're looking everywhere for direction, for confirmation, validation. There's a lot of externalizing that's happening, and I'm seeing like just arrows moving out of my field. And that energy makes me feel a sense of desperation and a sense of exhaustion in a sick of not knowing what's coming next kind of way. Like you can't always be on high alert. And that feeling when you fall asleep and you feel like you're falling and you like scare yourself, that sort of energy. There's a lot that's happening in the body, and that's because there's so much that's happening in the energy and in the mind. Again, our physical bodies are very dense. Things that happen to us in the energetic way, when we've moved past something or something has shifted, it takes time for it to come back down through here. And it takes time for us to ground it into ourselves and into our bodies. And through that transitional time, if you're not allowing for that to happen and wondering and looking and searching, your attention, yourself, your psyche, your energy is away from your body, when the comfort that you're seeking can be within the knowing and the center line that is yourself. A lot of this stuff is designed to kick you off kilter. You're literally being agitated. Now I'm seeing like a can of pop that's getting shook up, and now I'm seeing Mentos. That's just like my little signal for things that are about to just explode. Understand that the agitation, while it is something that you are experiencing, it's being exacerbated by what you're allowing other people to enact upon you. Some of this is an externalization of actually seeking out information. You're looking, you're seeking, you're wanting. You're trying to gather, you're trying to make sense, and you're making yourself cuckoo because you don't have enough bandwidth to take in any new information. And you also have the kind of guise that any new information might not be worth holding on to anyways, because there's a feeling of needing to make sure that it's correct, needing to make sure that, needing to triple check it in a whole bunch of places. I understand that urge, and I know that a lot of people are feeling that way. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't check your sources. Please fact check, for fuck's sake. But at the same time, you got to know when to turn the spigot off on this. It's a marathon, not a sprint. This comes with its own set of rules that we don't know yet. And that doesn't mean that you have to be afraid of it. It just means you can't be afraid of what you don't know yet. You shouldn't really be afraid of anything. That's hard to say though, because that's not true. I get scared all the time. I'm scared of all kinds of stuff. But I'm fucking human. And so are you. you got to let yourself off the hook here a little bit. The information seeking isn't really doing anything that's helping you. Take some time to decompress. Take some time to write some things down. Maybe a full-on brain dump where you literally sit down and let all of it come out. Even if it's misspelled, even if it's sideways on the paper, even if you're just writing fuck, 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 fuck 500 times, because there's catharsis in that. Tend to that. Okay. 2. A few chose 2. This is the Mama Jamma. Okay, 2. I feel instantly tension in the jaw that's moving into the ear, especially the left side. And that's kind of moving, and I actually can feel it going down my back. There's a sense of, there's like remorse, regret is the word that comes up. There's something that you wish you could speak more on regarding this, the thing that you feel the remorse or regret about. There's a want to console, because you are feeling almost a sense of dis-ease, and that's actually happening in the belly. I'm actually feeling it very distended. It's almost like there's so much that you're taking in, and there's a lot of responsibility that you're taking on yourself. This added responsibility is connected somehow to this feeling of regret or remorse, or something that feels like you should have done something different. Coulda, shoulda. It's not about what you could have done. Now, granted, okay, there was a point, right? And this point is this decision or this thing that was done that is causing you to wish it could have been done differently or changed. It's not about going back and changing what happened. It's about being here in this moment and accepting that you can't go back and change that. But at the same time, you have a beautiful responsibility and opportunity to do something now. It requires you to kind of, humble yourself in order to reach that acceptance level, and that may take time. But you will feel so much better, and a sense of relief and a sense of purpose and an understanding and an opportunity to kind of forgive yourself for feeling that sense of regret, because you will understand yourself better once you move through this. I know this sounds kind of vague, but it's because it applies to different people in different situations, and it's the feeling, it's the emotion that is the same. The situations are obviously a little more personalized. Continue to keep talking about this, even if you can't talk with other people about how you're feeling. Keep a journal, write yourself something on Google Sheets or Google Docs, and just leave it in there as a living document that you occasionally jump in and run on. Man, journaling is big for everybody. Let out the desire to fix. Can you name it? Can you pinpoint it? Can you locate where it is that if you could fix things, it would make everything better? Why is it your responsibility, is what I'm going to ask. Because the thing that you feel bad about isn't necessarily one little issue, it's the feeling around it. It's not your responsibility to feel other people's feelings for them and to deal with their problems for them. But compassion is something that is your responsibility and your gift as a human. And within your own compassion for yourself, you'll be able to get to the other side of how you're feeling about this and reach that level of forgiveness and fall back in love with that version of yourself that you're kind of longing for again. They're coming back online. The process is the path. Okay? All right. 3. Ooh, like a little sunset. This one always reminds me of the inside of an everlasting gobstopper, right before you chomp it, and it looks like a little planet. Maybe some of you have a, those of you in 3, if you have a connection to Willy Wonka, or anything I said there about the gobstoppers, that would be a ping. For some of you, it's a ping to a certain person, and that person, this is kind of like a hey. So there's some of you that's like, hey girl, hey, Willy Wonka over here, the Candyman can. Anyway, 3. There's some disappointment about how fast you should be progressing, and that's some bullshit. Let me just speak right to that. You're kind of judging yourself for where you're at. And that makes sense because with the energy of the Taurus moon that's coming up, Taurus has to do with the material world. And if you think of a bull, it is huge and very much of the earth on the earth. You're not moving that thing, and it's not moving unless it wants to. There is a sense of stubbornness. There is a sense of a desire to feel better about what is going on with you currently. And it stems from a belief in the past that you weren't going to have enough, or you weren't going to be enough, or you needed to prove that you were worthy of being taken care of, or being addressed, or being paid attention to. It was almost like you have to produce or do or be faster in your efforts to show that you are still willing to be here, that you're worthy of being here. And the thing is that there's nothing that you could ever come up with, that you could ever produce. You could never make enough money. You could never find enough stuff. You could never impress enough people for you to love yourself the way that you need to. The only thing that you can do is be you and love yourself as you. No matter how much you have or gain, no matter how much you lose, you are just as worthy and as perfect and as awesome as you've ever been, as you will ever be. That can't change. For some of you in 3, it almost feels like there's been a great loss again that will not be recouped. And again, this is in line with the feeling that you need to do or be in order to get. And that is not how this works. You get to get just for being you. So some of this is a mind shift that needs to occur, where there needs to be a change in perspective. I heard turn the page. It's about understanding that you're not where you want to be yet, but that doesn't mean you won't be. And it also is about paying attention to the fact that right now in this moment, it is exactly perfect. They call the present because it's a gift. So cheesy, but it's kind of cool, right? Learn to get into this moment right here and love this moment for what it is, and love you as you are in this moment. And that is where you feel this incredible sense of peace and an incredible sense of knowing of who you are, of knowing that you are divinely loved and guided, and that there isn't anything that's going to miss you that's meant for you. And if in the past or currently that you are feeling a loss or wondering about said loss, and wondering if it has anything to do with you, if it's something that you should have been able to hold on to, or something you should have been able to acquire, or even in a sense like a relationship or something that you were supposed to have. It doesn't define who you are. You are a being of true worth. You have everything you need, and everything will be coming your way. That loss, if it was truly something that you were meant to have, it wouldn't have left. something better is in its place, or something more aligned is in its place, or something that is more of a benefit to you on your path, that we don't totally have all of the lights on it yet. So it is, in a sense, being created as you're walking. It's a trust the process kind of thing, and I know that always feels kind of gross. You're like, oh, trust the process, yeah, great. You know, everyone says that. It seems like a spiritual brush off. And in some ways, it's the only thing you got. I am here right now trusting the process. You are here right now trusting the process. We are all fucking trusting this process. And we get to the other side of this. We actually are creating it. We are creating the best thing that we can with the love in the heart and the openness and the desire to be the uniqueness and the love that we are. And at the same time, to see that in others and know that we are connected to them. This will feel more comfortable the more you get comfortable with you. And it's times like this that test us and shake us and agitate us and make us feel all kinds of ways that we start to realize what we truly value. It's on the table. What do you value? I hope you are at that table, because you are the most important thing. Okay? Those are the messages this week. I would love to hear how they land for you, so please leave me some feedback. If you'd like to work with me, please reach out at my website, as I've said before. Also, tomorrow is my birthday. I would really appreciate it if you are not already subscribed to my YouTube, that you would please be subscribed. It's the little things like that that are the best gifts. Also, word of mouth sharing and things like that about, what you are liking about me would be awesome. So direct people to my website. That would be really cool. Thank you so much. And I truly appreciate you. And just know that I'm here with you. And I'm not sure what it looks like, but I'll be showing up. So I hope you do too. All right. Peace.